Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this coffee chat with Julie Moon. Julie is with LexTran, and she is just lovely. I had the chance to meet her when she was working with Kiwi Figs, and I asked if she would join us to meet with the Frisks. So, without further ado, Julie, I will turn it over to you.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Moon. I work for LexTran. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator. So my job entails teaching people how to write the service, how to use the resources that we have available. If you have any questions along the way, just feel free to chime in. I'm going to get my PowerPoint ready. Hopefully this works.
Julie and I have been having some technical difficulties, hence the change in link
Yes.
on our invite. We've been figuring it out together. Maybe she
Ignore
doesn't
that
fix the
screen.
screen. Looks good, Julie.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's start with what my boss says I have to start with. So we're going to do this. We serve people in our community with mobility solutions. What that means is we help people in Lexington, Fayette County to get from point A to point B. We provide the transportation. We're the sole provider transportation service in Lexington. Let's see. Hold on. Trying to get that off my screen. Okay. The Transit Authority of Lexington Fayette Urban County Government, or LexTran, is the official public transportation provider in Lexington. Public transit means that anyone is eligible and can ride the service. So it doesn't matter if the person is homeless, if they are wheelchair bound, if they're blind, does not matter. We cannot deny anyone except for extenuating circumstances, which that goes through a whole process. But for the most part, we don't turn anyone away. They can use our service. Currently, we have the fixed route bus system, which is the city bus that you see going throughout Fayette County. And we also have a wheels door-to-door paratransit service, is depicted in the picture in the bottom. What the wheel service is for people that have disabilities. If you were to fall on the ice, for example, and hurt your leg and you're in a cast, you cannot, realistically walk to a bus stop. You can apply for wheels or have your clients apply for wheels. If they are approved for wheels, then they can use their wheels ID to ride the fixed route system for free. So although Wheels is a paratransit service, there are ways to use that Wheels ID to get on the fixed route for free. The fixed route system, and we'll talk more about the prices here in a second, but I'm going to just in general, the fixed route service is typically $1. Wheels, because it's a door-to-door service, they pick you up at your home and they will take you to the door of the destination you're going to. For example, Walmart, they will take you directly to the door and even walk you to the door from the van or from the car. That service is considered a premium service. So it ranges about $1.60 to $2 per trip. Now, I'm from New York, where trips are like $3, $4 per trip. So this is still pretty inexpensive overall. Currently, LexTran has about 75 buses, 75, 76 buses, and about 25 routes. The routes typically go from the transit center outbound and then back inbound. That's one route. We have 4 routes that are connector routes, and they go from one area to another without going downtown. But the majority of our routes do go downtown. For example, if you're going from Hamburg to the mall, you would take one route to the transit center, and then from the transit center to the mall. Going back home to Hamburg, you would take one route from the mall to the transit center and from the transit center home, if that makes sense. It's a little bit confusing at first, but with practice, it makes more sense, and I'll give you some resources to use while you're riding the bus. LexTran is attempting to go more environmentally friendly. So we have CNG, which is compressed natural gas buses. We have diesel buses. We have battery electric and hybrid electric. Our diesel buses start about $550,000 for a bus. And the more environmentally friendly buses, although it's better for the environment, they're more expensive. So we pay about $1 million for the electric buses. Just FYI, some good information for you there. Resources. So our stop signs have tons of information on them. While your client is traveling, they can use their cell phone. It will tell them if they're standing at a bus stop, they can do this. I'm about to tell you what to do, but it'll tell them what time the bus will be at that stop. So what they're going to do, it's a messaging system. They're going to message the person is 321-123. And in the body of the message, what you'll put is LX plus the bus stop number. So if your bus stop number is 84, which that's the stop number for the transit center, you would put LX 84 and send it. Wait a few seconds and it'll tell you what time the bus will be at that stop. I use that system all the time when I'm traveling by bus because it really does help. You can do it from home if you know what your bus stop number is. You can be at home and then when the time comes, walk to the bus stop. You don't have to wait there too long. One thing that I want to mention is make sure that you're at the bus stop at least 5 minutes before, because although every stop is timed, our clocks may be off, the bus operators may be a little bit early, although they're supposed to wait, they don't always do that. So make sure you're at the stop at least 5 minutes before. So 321-123, LX, and the stop number that's written on the stop sign, and send it, and it'll tell you what time the bus will be there. Our website is www.lextran.com. There's a lot of information on the website. Schedules, digital schedules are on the website, detours, lots of information if we're doing special events like football. All that information is added to the website. Our transit center right now is under construction, so we're using High Street. That information is on the website as well. We also have an app. It's called the My Stop mobile app that you can download. You can actually use this app to see the buses on a particular route. You can select multiple routes at one time. It's pretty unique the way it's set up. But all of our buses have GPS tracking, so you can see the bus move along the route. So if you're at home, you're waiting on a bus, you can actually pull up the app and see where that bus is. On the My Stop mobile app, you can also plan trips. So you can put in your from and your to location, and it'll tell you which route you can take. It will tell you how far you have to walk to get to that bus stop, how to transfer it. It's a lot of information on there. That takes some time getting to get familiar with it and use it, but it does work and it works really well. And that's another one that I use all the time. Our customer service reps, and these are two of our customer service reps on screen. The number for customer service is on every single bus stop sign. So if your client is ever traveling and they are concerned if they're at the right stop or they're lost, they can call customer service. All we'll need to know is what stop they're at or what street they're at, and the customer service representatives will help them to find the correct location or where they need to be. Our bus operators are also a resource for you all. Keep in mind that the bus operator, if you say, for example, can you tell me how to get to Palumbo? Although we from Lexington, we know Palumbo, they may not know because some of our bus operators come from other states. They come here to work. And so they may not know Palumbo, but if your client says, well, can you tell me how to get to the library in Hamburg? They'll know bigger landmarks, Walmart, St. Joe Hospital, UK Hospital, different landmarks that are pretty well known. Have your clients use those as opposed to street names. The community relations team, I'm a part of that team. Like I said, I will teach people in real time how to use the service. So if you need that service, my number's at the end of this presentation. You can write my number or my email down, and I can come out and show your client how to get from point A to point B. Typically, I'll go from their home stop, so their home, to a destination. So for example, like I gave you before, the mall, and we'll come from the mall back home so that they can see how it works. A lot of people ask me to show them how to get to the supermarket. They ask me to show them how to get to the hospital. And people that are starting a new job, sometimes they'll ask me to show them how to get to that. And then we'll go to their new job and then back home. info@lextran.com is an email that you can use if you're ever traveling on LexTran, you have a good experience, or if you have a bad experience. We take complaints, we take commendations, anything we need to know, because that's the only way that we can make changes. So info@lextran.com. If your home stop is an area that doesn't have a bench or doesn't have a garbage can, they can write into info@lextran.com and request that service. Now, does it mean that it will happen? Because it depends. We have a planning team that actually goes out and they take measurements. They make sure that the stop can accommodate these things. And so reach out to us with any suggestions that you have, though, because it does help us to kind of evaluate what's going on in Lexington with our buses. First picture is the text for next feature that I told you about, the 321-123 LX13. 13 is the bus stop number, and it'll tell you that bus is coming at 12:49. For example, My Stop mobile app, the purple circle that you see is the bus itself. This is one route, and if there are more than one buses on this route, you'll see the multiple buses as well. With this service, you can select that circle and see how full the bus is. So if you have anyone that's traveling and they have anxiety or they get panic attacks, which we do have passengers that do have anxiety, you can select that purple circle, the white circle, and see if the bus is full or if the bus is empty. And if it is, you can wait for the next bus. Oh, wait. And the website, I've already mentioned that. Okay, payments. So for a single ride, it's $1, like I said before. Anyone ages 6 and younger is free. They travel for free. Ages 7 to 18, they get a 20% discount. So instead of $1, it would be 80 cents. Veterans, Medicare card holders, anyone with disabilities, and senior citizens, they get a 50% discount. So instead of $1, it would be 50 cents. We do have a monthly pass. The monthly pass is typically $30, but if you qualify veteran, Medicare, disabilities, or senior citizen, 62 and older, then your monthly pass would only be $15. The monthly pass, you don't have to worry about getting transfers because you can swipe that as many times as you like. You can swipe it 1,000,000 times within that month. With a single ride, you will have to get transfers to go from one bus. The second bus would be free with the transfer from the first bus. Now, there are ways that you can ride for free. Like I mentioned, if you apply for Wheels, you get approved, you can use your Wheels ID on the fixed route service for free. There's a student success card that you can get at the library. It's during the summer. So the first day of summer and ending the last day of summer, if you're an FCPS student, if you're a Fayette County Public School student, You can get the student success card at the library. You can ride for free during the summer. BCTC Class Pass, this is something that BCTC students can use. You would have to get it through the school, but there is a link and the school will give this to you. And BCTC students can ride for free during the semester. Anyone who's a UK student, faculty, or staff, so you teach at UK, you go to school at UK, you work at UK, use your UK ID to ride LexTran for free in any bus. So just show your ID, you can ride for free on LexTran. The UK blue and white routes that go around, they circle the UK campus, those are free to anyone, and you can hop on those at any time. This is a quick example of how a transfer works. So for example, you're going from Route 8 to Route 16. Bus comes, you're asking for a transfer. That transfer is good for any other route other than the route that you got the transfer on. So if you get the transfer in this instance on Route 8, the transfer cannot be used on Route 8 to go back home. It can only be used on any other number other than the number you got the transfer on. And I hope that's clear because some people get a little bit confused with that. Route 16 comes, you take that transfer and you use it on Route 16. So you pay on Route 8, you get a transfer, you use it on 16, and that's fine. And at this point, I'm going to show you a quick 4-minute video, and then we'll take some questions. This is my information, JMoon, pretty simple, jmoon@lextran.com. That's my number. Typically, I'm out in the field, so it's easier to get me through email. Just give me some time to respond. Give me like at least 24 to 48 hours because I'm usually in the field showing people how to use the service. And let me unshare. Okay.
Hi, my name's Emily Elliott, and I'm the Community Relations Manager with LexTran. Today we're going to go over the basics of how to ride the bus and passenger expectations.
There are multiple ways that you can get information about buses and schedules. There are paper schedules available at our Transit Center customer service window and online at www.lextran.com. Our app, MyStop Mobile, is free to download on Apple and Android, where you can plan trips, find stops, and get real-time bus information. Another option is our Text for Next system, where you can text LX and your stop number to 321-123 to get real-time stop departure information.
When your bus approaches your stop, it may serve multiple routes. You can find the information about which bus and which direction it's going by looking at this sign. This bus says Hamburg Pavilion to Polo Club. When one of these signs say to an area you may not be familiar with, it's likely going outbound. All inbound buses say to Transit Center. So if this bus was headed downtown, it would say Hamburg Pavilion to Transit Center. Hi, good afternoon. May I have the ramp, please? When boarding the bus, it's important to have your fare ready, but there are multiple ways that you can pay on the fare box. Cash and coins are inserted here. Tap cards are tapped here on this bullseye. Any passes that need to be dipped, so single rides and a first use of a day pass or 30-day pass are here. Multi-use passes like day passes and 30-day passes are then swiped here. When using a pass that receives a discount, you must show your ID or approved card to a driver each time you board to receive that discount.
Any passenger using a single ride or a tap card can obtain a transfer from the operator when boarding the bus. They are valid for 90 minutes. Transfers can be used as payment when boarding one route from another.
Next, we're going to talk about our etiquette and passenger expectations. The seats at the front of the bus are considered priority seating. What this means is they're reserved for someone who may not be able to walk into the back of the bus. Typically, wheelchairs, mobility devices, and mothers with strollers will sit here. If you're sitting here and someone boards with a wheelchair, you may be asked to move. Please avoid using vulgar language, and no alcoholic beverages are permitted. There is no smoking, eating, or drinking on board LexTran buses. Strollers are allowed on the buses. We ask that you take children out of them, fold them, and stow them under the seats. Please stay behind the yellow line at all times and only speak to the driver when the bus is stopped. When using an audio device on board, please use headphones for the convenience of everyone. We can accommodate 2 bicycles on each vehicle, and they are loaded on the front of the bus. The most important thing is to always acknowledge the driver before you step in front of the vehicle. LexTran does have a lost and found for some items, and they will be held for 30 days. If you leave something on the bus, please contact customer service. When you're nearing your stop about a block away, you'll want to pull the yellow cord to let the driver know that you'd like to get off the bus.
Stop requested.
If you wait too long, you may be asked to wait until the next stop. We ask that you stay seated until the bus comes to a complete stop. If you're able to, we request that you exit through the rear door for passengers who are currently boarding. Here are our top 3 tips for having a successful trip on LexTran. Plan your trip and know your stops. Know your fare and have it prepared ahead of time. Download our MyStop mobile app or save our text for next number for real-time information. We appreciate your time and thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.
So I know I went really fast. I apologize. I was trying to get everything in. So my apologies. But if you have any questions, open to any questions or comments or suggestions or whatever.
Is the video that we just watched something that we can all use as a resource if we're working with a parent or an older student that needs help?
You're a quiet bunch. Was there anything that I covered that wasn't clear that I can clear up?
This was really helpful for me.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad. And like I said, I can do this in real time. If you have a client that you want to make a referral, to refer to us, that's fine. And you can actually come along. I've had people who make referrals, thank you, come along with the client and we just take a day trip. So feel free to refer and join us if you'd like.
Thank you so much, Julie. And we did it.
No
And we
worries.
went through our tech.
I know. I kept looking at my clock. Like, oh my gosh, I have to do this in like 15 to 20 minutes.
You did
So,
great.
yeah. Thanks. Well, it was a pleasure. I'm glad that I was here. You have my information. Just feel free to reach out. Like I said, just give me a day or so to respond because I'm usually not in the office, but I'll be happy to assist in any way that I can.
Thank you so much. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. And guys, thanks for being here. I hope this will be helpful for supporting students and families. Have a great
Awesome.
day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.